I've been receiving some questions about the Grayman concept since I uploaded my original video on the Grayman concept. So I wanted to share with you the best definition that I know of what Grayman truly is. So I hope you guys enjoy.
Grayman. Grayman falls into the category espionage and counterintelligence because that is where it comes from. There's one website, I can't remember the name of it, the guy was a former counterintelligence officer and he had some pretty good information. But the idea behind the Grayman is situational awareness, and they operate and live their lives as though they're always under surveillance. That is the start to being a Grayman. That's the only way you can maintain the level of situational awareness you need to be a Grayman, to go unseen, is you have to have the lifestyle. Grayman is not something you do, it's someone that you are. It's part of the tradecraft that's taught in the espionage courses, and it's just the way you have to live your life. So if you're reading this stuff and they say, oh yeah, you need to become a Grayman when shit hits the fan. Well, that's wonderful, but if you're not already a Grayman, you're going to have a hard time pulling that off, especially if there's anybody around that knows what they're doing and what they're looking for. Part of being always under surveillance is actually establishing patterns that are false. So we all have patterns. We go to school or we go to work, we go to the store, we take the kids to after school programs, we go to church on Sunday, maybe we always go watch MMA or football at the restaurant, sports place, whatever. But part of what the Grayman does is he establishes his own routine and patterns, multiple ones, that are false, meaning they make absolute sense. If you followed him and saw what he's doing, it looks like that's what he's doing. And he does it as a pretense so that if he actually is being surveilled or thinks he's being followed, he can pick a pattern that would make sense at that time and initiate it and execute and follow that pattern. And once he's satisfied that he can break that pattern and return to, say, his house or break away and, say, escape or evade, that's what he does. And all these patterns have timelines, locations, you have predetermined and pre-established primary, secondary, alternate routes, primary, secondary, alternate surveillance detection routes, which is a whole other subject, but it has to do with the way you drive in order to determine if you're being surveilled, or the way you walk, the pattern you follow. Now that's just actions that take a lot of training and a lot of practice. I read some stuff that said, if you're a young guy or a young girl, you need to act like you're weak or frail, and if you're an old person, you need to act a certain way. Completely inaccurate. What you blend to is your environment. So if you're on a college campus and there's a lot of people around your age dressing and acting a certain way, that's how you blend and stay hidden. Being hidden in plain sight is blending according to the environment and your surroundings. It's not blending to your age or blending to anything related really to your age. When you blend to your environment, you match your surroundings, it's camouflage, and you don't stand out, which is what you want. And because you feel like you're always under surveillance and you have total situational awareness, you're always interacting. You go to the store, you talk to the cashier, you order food at the drive-thru, you go to the restaurant and tip the waiter, you talk to people in the neighborhood when you're walking your dog or getting the mail. You say hi to people if that's what people do in the area you're at. People don't look at each other in the eyes in the store, then you don't look in their eyes. If people talk and say hi randomly or hey, can you help me get that, then you do the same thing. But while they're doing that, what you don't see is in their mind, they're a fly on the wall. More like a fly going through the room. They're observing everything. They're taking everything in. They're paying attention to their surroundings. And you cannot just say, oh yeah, I know how to do that. No, you don't. I thought I did until I went through classes for it. It's difficult, and you have to put it into practice. So if you want to try practicing it, just do something simple. Next time you go to, say, the grocery store, whether you're alone or with somebody else, in the back of your mind, try to pick something that you want to identify about everybody. I want to identify what color shirt everybody's wearing, or at least two people in every aisle, and try to recall it. Or I want to figure out how many people walk or move with some sort of injury, limp, disability. or I want to take note of everybody that looks me in the eyes, or look for the exits. How many exits are there? How would I get to the exits? How would I move in and out of this aisle if I needed to get to the exits? And all this stuff has to be running through your mind while you're multitasking, because you don't just look around and figure this stuff out. You have to be interacting and doing all kinds of normal things. So it looks like you're just walking along, looking at your groceries, counting your coupons, grabbing stuff off the wall, but you're thinking all this stuff in the background. But when you interact with the public, you're a non-irritant. Meaning, you go to say Burger King, you walk in there with the family, you got that person who comes in, they're staring up at the menu, they walk up there, their mouth's open, waiting for flies to come in, they're like, does the number two, is there onions on that? Can I get it without ketchup? Wait a second. Oh, you got this now? You know those guys? Or the ones at the cash register that just irritate the hell out of you because they want to bitch and argue about every price, or they got 5 million coupons, or they want a rain check, or any of these other things. All those are wonderful things. But if you want to blend in, you don't do that stuff. Because anybody around you sees that. While it is normal, it's not common. And you don't know if anybody's in a hurry or if they just are an impatient person, so they're going to remember those things. And that's going to make you stand out. That's not what you want. What you want to be is standing next to the guy that's doing that. Because the natural human function and the way your brain works, when you're drawn to that person, which is subconscious most of the time, the person right next to them or near them, and assuming they're not like their partner or kid or whatever, you block them out.